Okay. Hello guys and welcome back to the channel. Today we're down here on my basement. Yes sir, we're doing some cleanup, but we are going to go ahead and finish doing that body work on this car. You already know, but first guys, I definitely want to appreciate every single one of you. Thank you for being here today with me. Thank you for putting up with my shenanigans on these videos. Appreciate every single one of you, especially the ones that have been coming back and brand new people. Guys, we have 2 new subscribers today. Thank you very much for joining the family, guys. I appreciate y'all too for coming in and subscribing to the YouTube family. Thank you very much. Thanks to y'all, we're already at what? 390. Wow, that is crazy, guys. Thank you very much for all your support. Much love, guys. But without further ado, we got to get out there and work in the garage. Let's go do. We got a lot of work to do. A lot of work to do today. Jesus Christ. Alrighty guys, so it is the next day here. We already put some frosting on this cake right there. Yes, we did. We put a little bit more. As you guys remember, we had a couple of metal and stuff we had to push down. It was high spots. So hopefully this one will work. I can see 2 indentations there. Hopefully they come out. Don't worry, we're going to put our guide code. Make sure we don't miss anything else, because this panel needs to be straight as an arrow. It is black paint, and black paint does not hide anything. You can see everything through black paint, man. It's crazy. But yeah, we're gonna let that dry, hit it with the sander, and see what it looks like. Fuga. Alright guys, next day here. Yes, the next day. We're waiting on this to dry. We just literally sprayed it. I should have turned the camera sooner. But hopefully the last coat of our skin seal there, just to make everything smooth, everything uniform. And then hopefully all this black is gone. And we're left with a nice little clean yellow, green, whatever color you guys see in video. And we can finally throw primer on this thing, hopefully. Let's get it. Everything looks straight as it could be. And since it's a black paint, hopefully this gives us what we need, so we don't see any imperfections once it's painted and clear coated. And yes, I did went a little overboard with that machine, but it's okay. We have that much space over here to blend it in, so we're gonna be just fine. We're gonna be okay. Yes, we are. All right, now my question was, am I gonna do the whole thing all the way, or should I do like a hard line somewhere in between there? I don't know. I mean, I'm already gonna put plastic all over the car. Might as well do it all, huh? I don't know. We'll see when we get to it. All right, well, let's go ahead and open the garage door so we can get some fresh air in here and start sanding. And hopefully, let's cross our fingers, and this is our last sanding job right here. Because I'm tired of sanding. Alright guys, in case you were lost, this little stick I was measuring up is for the flat surface of this thing, which there's a flat surface and then it starts uniforming. So I was lucky enough, I put this against that at the edge, and it's exactly the same length, which is straight, it's flat all the way down. And then as you guys can see, if I put you at an angle, it starts forming that little curve. Well, once this is done, then it starts doing that little curve thing. So we got our flat surface done on that side. Now we got to start shaping it into this panel over here. So that's what we're gonna do. And we still got to make this line here that comes in there. So I went ahead and marked the light on this side to make sure we have, because this light has the little line on it, make sure we have that straight there. So that's where our, what you might call it, that stripe there is going to represent that tape. So we got to make the little curve that it has all the way down to the light. So now I'm going to put another tape on the bottom of it, and then that's going to be a little hump, which is this little hump right here, if you guys can see it. Boom. Yep. So now we got to recreate that. We got our flat surface done. Now we're recreating that little bump. So that bump should be created once we start sanding this. So I'm gonna put up tape under there so we don't touch where that bump's supposed to be. Let's get it. Alrighty guys, here we go. We got everything square, nice and uniform. We do have a little bit of pinholes right here, right there, and one right there. But we're in a lot of them over here. But primer should cover most of those. We are gonna put a little bit of, I don't know what it's called, but it goes in all those little pinholes before we put the primer. And then whatever that doesn't take care of, the primer will. So whatever we put in there is going to cover all those little imperfections right there, the most biggest ones that you see, and then the rest will be covered by the primer. So yeah, but before we do that, well, we actually got to do that and then go one more time over it with 300, and then we can spray the primer. Let's get it. Alrighty guys, and just like that, our day is over. Yes sir. A lot of body work and little details, and you know, it's just a panel, but hey, we had a lot of corrections to do. We had a lot of little details to take care of, and we had to let all this dry out. This is so thin, so it dries up within half an hour or so. I like to leave it a full hour just so it's hard and cured. Like right here when I'm peeling some of it off, it gets really hard. So that's good. That means it's working. So yeah, well, we're just gonna let this dry and then come back to it the next day, tomorrow, and then finish it up with the 300. And then if everything feels smooth, looks good, we're gonna prime it. And once we do primer, we're gonna do another coat of the guide coat. You know, we like to do our guide coats. Put some black paint on the primer, make sure everything's straight for the last time. And if that comes out great, hi, paint time, you already know. But yeah, I know it's tedious, but hey, it's a nice car. It's a brand new car. We got to make it look better than OEM, right? Let's get it. And just in case you're wondering how I got the little dip right there, yeah, I took some measurements on the background. You already know. That way I know how much to sand, where to sand, and how far off it needs to be. Because it goes from being like really deep right here into less deep, deep until it's like just a little turn there to match with the light. But yeah, right here it has a little drop off, like whee! As you guys can see that. I don't know how well you guys can see that, but yeah, that's good though. Really, really good. Let me show you guys the other side. Should look just like this side. Watch, watch, watch. There you go. You get a good angle from all the way back here. You see that? With paint and clear, you're gonna be able to see the whole thing all the way to the back. Oh yeah, let's get it. Alrighty guys, so it is the next day. We got a little shy Tio here to start the morning. We went ahead and sanded it with 300 grit at this moment and the DA. We're not shaping anything or doing anything. We're just literally going over it to get all those rough 80 grit scars smooth out, so we can start applying some primer on the panel. And yes, I did put a sandpaper here at the gas tank lid, So, you know, when we throw the primer, it doesn't hit the lid itself. But yeah, we went ahead and did a little bit of taping. We got to do a lot more taping. So I'm just going to go ahead and get us a hard line right here where the paint's still good. And then throw the primer in there. And then wet sand the whole thing. Yeah, the whole quarter panel. And hopefully it's good enough for us to start throwing paint. If we hit any downs or bumps or whatever with the primer, we're gonna have to fix all that. But everything feels smooth. I don't see why we will have an issue, but we won't find out till we do the final testings, right? All right, well, let's get to it. I'm gonna go ahead and start taping this thing and throw some primer. Alright guys, now that we got our primer mixed, yes, we got it mixed with hardener and everything. We let it flash while we move the cars out of the way because we don't want overspray on those over there. That one, I don't know. I'm still wanting to get to swapping that engine. Yes, I know. We got the engine. We want to swap it, but we do have to make a little bit of side money, man. We broke over here. We need some funds to support our builds. So let's go ahead and get this knocked out with primer and see what it looks like. I'm gonna go ahead and throw about, I don't know, I want to say 3-4 coats, a good amount of primer coverage, so we can cover this thing real well. But first, I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of that little line right here with a razor blade. Alrighty guys, there it is. We did put like 5 coats on it. We didn't go a little thick, I think, on some places, so it kind of ran down. Now we have a couple little pinholes over here that we need to fix and refill, and we have a little bit of a height spot around here somewhere, so we got to fix that. Let's see if we can get away with the primer. If not, we're gonna have to go ahead and get it all fixed and then reprime the whole thing, and you know, redo the stuff so we can get a perfect fit, perfect line. And because this is black, you can see everything on black, so we got to make sure it is super perfect, super straight, so it looks super nice. But yeah, so yeah, we're gonna wait for this to dry, wet sand, and then we'll check back with it. And if we need to do something with that little thing right there, then we're definitely going to have to reprime that spot at least. But yeah, all right, well, let's go ahead and let it dry. It usually takes about 4 hours, I think this primer takes, but I'm gonna go ahead and leave it about 6 or overnight, because I did put it really thick, so we're gonna give it all day to dry. If it's dry by tonight, we probably spray paint tonight. If not, oh well, tomorrow will be another day, right? But we did scuff this fender over here, or bumper over here. We did get it situated with the sponge and 600 grit. Chevy doesn't make a bad primer when they come already pre-prime. It's all right. Ain't like Toyota. Toyota start peeling. Let me turn this off real quick so get all that overspray out, because we don't want to overspray on the car itself. And it helps the car is dusty already because we've been sanding. So that will not let anything stick to it. So yeah, that's why I didn't cover the whole car, because it has dust on it. That helps us a lot. And overspray does not stay on dust. It'll come off once you wash it. Yes, sir. And if you did have that issue where you have dust and you still have like overspray on your car, a good tip for that will be you can clay bar it. Use a clay bar and it'll take all that stuff off, and it'll leave your paint like better than new, and it'll be like so smooth to the touch. But yeah, there's a little tip for y'all if y'all didn't know. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and this one's prep already too. We're just gonna need to wax and grease remove it, but we're not doing none of that until we clean the floor, wet the floor, and then respray the car black and the bumper black. That's until we start painting. But yeah, for now we're just gonna go ahead and let that dry. So yeah, I'll see you guys once we're ready to guide coat that with our color black, and then start wet sanding it, and yeah, go from there. Alrighty guys, so it's later on today. We went ahead and let it dry. It sit for a couple hours, well, more than a couple actually, and it's fully dry. So you already know what time it is. It's time for us to let it rip. Yes sir, we're gonna spray it with our guide coat, and look at that, it's already blacked out. We is done with it, ready to go, just like new. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and wet sand this coat here and see how it looks, and yeah, go from there. Gee, we got a lot of work to do today. Regular paint from Walmart, cheapy. No need to waste that much money on paint you're just gonna put in there and sand away. Oh, we went a little hard there. Let's get it. Oh yeah. Alright guys, there we go. We are all sanded and stuff. I know, we said we were gonna wet sand it. I dry sanded it just because I had a little bit of imperfections I wanted to take care of. So, and to our favor, it turned out really well. So no need to wet sand this panel here. However, once we take the tape off, we are gonna have to wet sand the rest of the panel. Yes, sir. If we can't get away with scuffing it, because usually we get away with just scuffing it. So, yeah. But if it looks good after the scuff, no need to wet sand. Yeah, you don't have to wet sand everything every time. But if it doesn't come out good, then yes, we're going to have to wet sand it as well. So, let's go ahead and take this tape off and see what all we need to get done. Alrighty guys, so we went ahead and got the plastic off this piece right here that we prime. As you guys can see right there, quarter panel, it is done, finished. Now this is what I mean by get away with scuffing. This line right here is not a hard line at all, so we can get away with scuffing it. Down here there's a hard line. We went all the way to the tape. As you guys can see, you can feel that. Man, come on, that's hard. So we got to wet sand that part right there all the way up here. So yeah, I got a wet sand. Since we're going to wet sand anyways, we're going to get wet. We're going to get water out here. Might as well just go ahead and wet sand the whole thing, the whole quarter panel. Whatever we miss with the wet sand, we'll come back with the scuff, hit it with the scuff as well. Make sure it's 100% so we can start throwing some paint on this thing. Yes, sir. It's finally time to paint it. Now we are going to have to go ahead and cover the whole car when we paint it, because that's way different than primer. Paint and clear coat go all over the place, so we don't want no hardcore overspray on this car at all. All right, so yeah, we are going to go ahead and mock up the bumper anyways. So we are going to go ahead and wax and grease remove this, put it on the car, and then this one's already ready to shoot, so we're gonna shoot it while it's on the car, since the car's gonna be all covered up anyways. So we're gonna go ahead and just put it on and then shoot it with the bumper on the car already. That way when we're done shooting it. It's done. It's assembled. We don't have to mess with it. Other than, I believe it has sensors on this particular bumper. Right? Yep, there's the hose. So we just got to mess with those sensors and plug them back in. Or I'll probably just plug the sensors, put the bumper, assemble everything completely 100%, and then spray it afterwards while it's in the car. That way we don't have to repaint the sensors separately. Yeah, that will work just better. Except for one teensy little problem I forgot. I believe, yeah, these sensors are going to have a plastic piece right here. We don't want them to look ghetto-licious, although everything's going to be black. Yeah, I'll probably paint the sensors separately, just so the little plastic in the middle has no paint. That way we can give a professional look, a fine OEM finish to the car. Otherwise, they'll have paint on it. I know a lot of people don't care since it's black paint, but I do care about the details, and so does the customer. So we're gonna do a solid and just paint them separate. Let's go. We got a lot of work to do today. Oh yes, we do. All right, so before we assemble everything, well, obviously we got to assemble everything. So I connected back the computer and everything, put it back where it was, OEM. I sprayed on the back of this panel so nothing rusts out. Make sure there was no leaks, no light coming through except for that one there. However, we're missing the little plastic piece that goes in there. Right here should be a little plastic piece. As you guys can see, we did our little putting there, or not putting, but body bond. So it looks nice and done. We just need to find that plastic piece, put it on. It should look like something like that one over there. But yeah, oh well, we'll see if it's in here. If not, we'll go ahead and order it and get it in there, and then put the bumper next. And oh no, light and then bumper. That's the new light, that's the old light. Damn, this thing is dirty. But yeah, we'll give it a wash once we're done with it, for sure. And yeah, as soon as we finish assembling the trunk, we'll go ahead and assemble the rest of the car. That way we can go ahead and paint it all together and make it look good. I'm probably going to leave the lights off, though. I'm going to take that light off, too. Easier for us to mask it with the bumper on. Yeah, we're going to do it like that. We'll see. I don't know, guys. I'm going to change my mind and paint the bumper separate from the car. I don't know. I really don't know. I'll see what makes it easier for me and then go from there. Oh, yeah. Whatever's easier, right? Nothing's easier around these days now. Look at this. It's a mess. Alrighty, guys. So it is a little sunny outside. It's a nice day. It is the next day. We went ahead and taped all away where we are going to wet sand and everything. So we're gonna go ahead and pull this bad boy outside. Since it's such a nice day, we're gonna go ahead and wet sand it out there. That way we can go ahead and sweep all this dust and clean up in here, clean the floors, wet the floors, get it ready for paint. Let's get it. Alrighty, guys, and yes, we did disconnect the battery because we were doing some spot welds. As you guys know, I like to disconnect the batteries when we spot welding or any kind of welding into the panels of the cars, because we don't want to mess up the computers and stuff like that. So we're gonna go ahead and connect all this back, put some power to this thing, tight everything up, and pull it outside. Vámonos. Just so you guys can get an idea how dusty this car is right now. Look at that. Sheesh. Yep, really dusty, guys, really dusty, but that's gonna help us. Once we finish it, it's gonna be nice and clean. Yes sir. All right, well, let's go ahead and get started on this wet sand. We're gonna wet sand this whole panel all the way to the front. Follow that, all the way to the back. Yes sir. That will be the best scenario, best thing we can do for this car. Let's get it. But look at this finished primer zone over here. Sheesh. Nice and steady, boys. Nice and steady. Alright, well, I'm gonna go ahead and pick up all this mess and sweep this floor and get this ready for painting. Vámonos. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and leave it aside, let it dry out. Let all that water just rinsed out here, and then that's done. I guess that'll dry by itself. But yeah, pretty much it's dry on top because the sun is so strong out here today, which is really nice. I didn't notice it has something here. I don't know what that is. I think it's some sort of glue. Yeah, that's some sort of glue. So I'm gonna clean that with some alcohol, and then I'm just gonna scuff it over anyways. So we'll take care of that. There's some spots that we did miss. You see here's really shiny over there. Not much. We didn't miss much, but the scuff will take care of all that stuff that we missed. I was being careful not to hit the trunk. Oh, I think it's just dust. Yep, it's just dusty. So we're good. We didn't hit the trunk. All right, well, that is that. Let's go ahead and let it dry. Meanwhile, I'm gonna go ahead and wash the floors, and then come back later to put this in and start scuffing. Get it. Alrighty guys, so we have some soccer games today, so that is going to be it for this video. Yes, it took a little bit longer than I thought and expected, but hey, we're like in what, season 3 already? Woo, yeah, part 3 pretty much. So I do apologize. I promise though, I promise one more part, and we're going to like paint this thing and get it done. Okay, that panel has been killing us lately. It's a lot of work to leave a panel back to, like, you know, perfect condition, especially if you don't want nobody knowing that car ever got wrecked, things like that. It is what it is. We're doing our best, and we're gonna get it done. So thank you very much for watching. I appreciate every single one of you. Thank you all who made it this far in the video towards the end. I appreciate you. You guys can comment down below. We got a lot of work to do today, and I'll know you made it to the end of the video. Appreciate every single one of you. Thank you very much for all your support, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Adios.